Greetings from outer space.
Welcome to my channel with your host, yours truly, Jupiter Red. That's just legit, ain't it? It sounds like a commercial. I'm legit now, guys. Okay, let me stop. I'm not legit at all. But as y'all can see, today's video is a story time. And just to be Captain Obvious, because you know the title, it's about me and how I fell in love with my side nigga. Now, I know that you might be like,
oh, you had a side nigga, like, that's nasty, you're a female, you're a hoe, a slut.
or whatever, but just listen to the story, okay? I had my reasons. So, a long time ago, not super long time ago, but a while ago, I was dating a guy off and on, and this guy's, well, we're gonna call him N for the sake of his privacy. So, me and N were off and on a lot, and once I graduated high school, I was tired of it, and I was also tired of living at my house. So I decided to just go to the army, and me and him broke up, and I got medically discharged 2 years later. And right after I came back home, me and him linked up, and we started dating again shortly after. So, it was cool hanging out with him and everything. He spent a lot of money on me and everything. But after a while, I had started getting kind of suspicious because he would never, ever let me go to his house. Like, we would always stay in hotels and everything. And I just didn't understand that because I'm his girlfriend. But, so one day, me and him and a couple of other people went to Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is like the better version of Hooters. But yeah, we went to Twin Peaks, and N had stepped out to go to the bathroom. And his supposedly best friend, who was a soft stud lesbian, was she was flirting with me. But then in the middle of her flirting with me, I just asked her, like, have you ever been to N's house? I've never been to N's house, and I just want to know, like, why won't he let me go to his house? And she said that she had never been to his house, and that I can't go to his house because his wife just kicked him out. So that hit me like kind of hard. And I was like, his wife, like, this man has a wife? And why don't I know this? So, it made me angry enough to just leave pretty much right away, even before he got out of the bathroom. And shortly after I left, I guess he noticed that I left, and he called and he asked me where I went and why I left, and I explained to him that his supposedly best friend told me that he had a wife. He immediately started denying it and claiming that she's interested in me, and he was like, she was flirting with you, and she's just looking to sabotage our relationship so she can be with you, and blah blah blah, and all that other bullshit. And I didn't really believe him, but I didn't have enough hard evidence to break it off with him. So instead, I just decided that, you know what? If he has his little side piece, then I'm gonna have mine. Cause I know, deep down inside, I knew he was, he had another woman, somewhere. So, when I got home that night, there was this guy who had been messaging me, for a while, and we met through a mutual friend. And I would kind of just swerve him or whatever, because I don't believe in having male friends when I'm in a relationship, because I feel like it causes conflict. But that day, I made the exception. Okay? So I decided that I was going to chit chat with this guy. I had always thought he was cute and he was funny and he dressed nice. So I decided to just give him the time of day. So we started messaging a lot, talking on the phone a long time and everything, and hanging out with our mutual friend together. And finally, I got comfortable enough to hang out with him alone. We would like just have a blast all the time. I started putting him all over Snapchat where N could see it and I didn't even care, and N would ask about him and I would just say,
oh, he's just a friend.
which at the time technically he was when I said that. But not long after, I don't even think not a week later, Jerion, who's my current boyfriend by the way, the one who is my side nigga, he was working in the middle of the night and he told me that he got off at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I told him the night previously that I would come over in the morning. So I went to his house around 8:30 that morning and we Netflix and chilled.
Ooh.
And my whole life was changed. We had sex and it was great. And I just thought that there was like no way that I could ever go back to N, but I still felt for N, and I didn't really have feelings for Jerion yet, but I just thought he was a really cool guy. But when N was always too busy to hang out with me or, you know, to be around me or blah, 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 Jerion was always there wanting to hang out, and we hung out like every day after that, just all the time. And I began to catch feelings. I mean, we were always, my dog is whining, I'm sorry. We were just always together. Hi, Cora. We were just always together and we always had a great time. Like I said before, the sex was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, finally, like, I don't know how long later, N hits me up and he wants to hang out. He wants to go out. So I go out with him, and when I go out with him, he had a friend there, and we're gonna call her Cinnamon because her name was similar to that. I had a headache or whatever, so, and there was a Kroger across the street from the Twin Peaks, because we always went to Twin Peaks for some reason. There was a Kroger across the street, and Cinnamon decided to walk with me over to the Kroger so I could get something for my headache. We were cool and we exchanged numbers, and she ended up telling me later on, I think like the next day, she hit me up and was saying that her and N were sleeping together and that she's in love with him, and you know, just stuff like that. Then she says that she's good friends with his wife. That's the second time I heard that word. The second time. So I know for a fact now that he has a wife. And this whole time he was just lying to me about it. So after I heard that or whatever, later on another day or whatever, after me hanging out with Jerion all the time, N hit me up and was like, oh, you want to hang out tonight? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, sure. But before I hung out with him, I made sure I went over Jerion's house that morning and gave him some real good sloppy toppy. And I went that whole day. I did not brush my teeth. I did not like use any mouthwash, nothing. So when it came to that night, I just got ready, got cute and everything, and I went out with him to the same place because we only go to Twin Peaks for some reason. And I made sure that I gave him a big, wet, sloppy kiss. Yeah, in kissed dick mouth. And it felt great. I was like, yes, this is the ultimate revenge. That's what his ass get. But yeah, so I went home. And just as usual, I just started hanging out with my side nigga all the time. And then finally one day my side nigga was like, you know, you're basically with me. You're basically my girlfriend. Are you gonna be with me or are you gonna be with N? I made my decision and I called N up and then we broke up. So that is pretty much the story. And yeah, now I'm with Jerion, and Jerion and I have been together for a year and 3 months. A year and 3 months or a year and 4 months, one of those. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Now y'all have an explanation for why I fell in love with my side nigga. And I'm not saying that it's right. I should have just broke it off with N as soon as I felt suspicious, but I didn't. I wanted revenge and I got it and I don't regret it. So,
Ta fucking die. Toodaloo.